Hello and welcome to my F1 25 driver career mode here today for part 14 for the Canadian Grand Prix. So we come into qualifying now. This is at the end of our first lap. We go through the chicane. We avoided the wall of champions. We come up to the line in our first lap. He's only going to be good enough for P13. We went again though on the same set of tyres. We found 2 tenths, about 2.5 tenths of a second. A little bit more out of the final corner. We come up to the line now, and that is going to put us P7, just behind the Williams and Albon. New set of tyres now, and we've found just 2 tenths more. We've dropped that. We're still P7. We come up to the line, and that's going to put us P5. On our final run though, we were up by 1.5 tenths. Going through the chicane, we dipped a wheel onto the grass, and we spun. We've managed just to keep out the barrier. I think we did tap the barrier. We've done an excellent save there. But that's the end of our final run in qualifying. This is a replay of what happened. Smoke everywhere. We just about kept it out the barriers. Qualifying's done. We've dropped though to P9.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. It's a 2.7 mile circuit, peaking at around 190 miles per hour. It's basically a series of chicanes and hairpins. We do have DRS zones, officially 14 turns, tight corners, and a real challenge for the drivers. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Alonso, Sonny Hayes and Sainz, Tsunoda, Verstappen, Brown and Alex Albon, Russell, Stroll, Nico Hülkenberg and Behrman, Gasly, Bortoleto, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Oscar Piastri, Pierce, Ocon, Hadjar and Jack Doohan. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Welcome to the commentary box overlooking the circuit. I'm Alex Jakes, and joining us for the race today is Naomi Schiff. I love this moment in the weekend. Put us in their shoes right now. What are they feeling on the grid?
It's a very special time for the drivers. It's almost like everything around you slows down and you become hyper aware. So your nerves slightly go up, your adrenaline's going up. It's the perfect time to start focusing on your visualizations and preparing for the race. So you want to avoid distractions and really stay cool, calm and focused.
Cars make their way now and then onto the grid at the end of the formation lap. We're starting P9. Just behind the 2 Red Bulls, the car we're hoping to be in one day, so really we don't want to trip over them, but we're still going for it. As here we go then, the 5 red lights come on. It's looking like a 2-stop today, but what will happen in Canada as the lights are out and we're racing and we've got a fairly decent start. The 2 Red Bulls to go to the inside of, one of them's got a shocker start. We're going to go for a lunge to the inside, we're over the grass at turn 1, trying to go around the outside now of the apex of Piers. We can't get the exit. He keeps us behind now as we head towards turn 4, and the 2 Red Bulls are going wheel to wheel. Tsunoda around the outside of his teammate Max Verstappen. Max gives up on it, but we've done both of the Red Bulls on the opening lap here in Canada, something that Red Bull and Helmut Marko probably don't want to see. But we're on the back now of Piers. But we haven't got the straight line speed, but Yuki Tsunoda has. Tsunoda's going to go to the inside. He's got alongside us. He backs out of it though. We keep him behind for now as we go through the chicane. He's going to have another go here. He's getting closer and closer with Tsunoda as we head down towards turn 1, but he couldn't quite get close enough. We were just about sticking with Piers, but Tsunoda now is at the outside of us, and Tsunoda has got us. We don't really want to be holding up the main Red Bull team in our RB, but we're not going to let them pass easy, similar to Bahrain when we were trying to let Yuki through, but he kept backing out of it, but we're going to come back at him now because we're going to swap in the dummy because he was holding us up in a way around the outside. We retake that position from Tsunoda and we go back up into P7 as we were starting to fall back a bit from Piers in front, but Yuki's not giving up here. It's brought Max into play, but Yuki has got us there. We are going to have to live to fight another day. But now we've got the golden boy behind us, Max Verstappen. Tsunoda pulled away and Max is now at the inside of us. We're holding it round the outside, then Max backs out of it, that's a rarity. And now all over the back of him is the Mercedes of George Russell, his best mate on the grid. We're on lap 6 now as we have a bit of a wobble going through that chicane. We pushed a bit too hard in the opening couple of laps and the mediums were really starting to feel it now. The cliff weren't that far away on these tyres for us. Maxo gets us up the inside. George thought about it, but George backed out of it. He's got Lance Stroll all over the back of him. George goes to the outside, we slammed the door, and Lance Stroll has got a good run here into the hairpin. He's just got his nose ahead. Now it's going to be a traction race for them two as we head towards the next DRS straight. We're just going to have DRS from Max, which is just about going to help us stay ahead of these two. But Stroll now to the inside at the final chicane. I think Lance has got him, and he has. So Lance Stroll is on the back of us. He's going to the inside. The tyres have already hit the cliff there on lap 9. We try and hold it round the outside. That gives us the inside line for turn 2, and we hold off the Aston Martin for now. But here he comes again, Lance Stroll on home soil, of course. We squeeze him a bit to the outside and he backs out of it, and there is a very big train there, but we've had a bit of a twitch coming out of the chicane and we're going to be 3 wide, are we here? Heading into the hairpin. We've been done by Stroll, we've been done by George. Now them two are side by side as they head up the hill towards the final chicane. We've been done by both of them here. Look at them, they're gone. And now we're coming under pressure from Nico Hulkenberg in the Sauber. George has re-overtaken the Aston Martin. We've been overtaken by Hulkenberg and we've just kept behind the Williams of Albon as we head now towards turn 1. Albon's going to have another look to the inside of us. We're going to try and hold it to the outside. We now have the inside line for turn 2. Albon can't go round the outside of us, and now he's left defending the Haas of Behrman. Behrman's at the inside and Behrman looks to have got him. We're over the grass in front. Behrman has got the Williams of Albon. Now lap 10. This is Behrman getting closer and closer to us. He's going to go to the outside and he's just disappeared past us like we're not even there. We're going to try and be later on the brakes. We've got him offline going through the final chicane and we've retaken that place from Behrman. But look at the straight line speed. He has the DRS, of course, Behrman. He was just in front of us as we've massively dropped it. Behrman's through. We've completely lost the rear. Albon's through. Antonelli now with side by side of us. We have another wobble. These medium tyres have hit the cliff. That pushing in the opening couple of laps are very much hurting us now, and it's very much a DRS train now, a trolley train behind us now as everyone's through there. We've lost about 4 positions there as we've nearly dropped it again there. Through there goes the apex of Hayes as we're going to swap in the dummy, go back down the inside, retake that place and finally get ahead, keep someone behind, but he's too far back to have another go here. And at the end of lap 11 we've dropped like a stone. We were P7 at one point in this race. That feels like a long time ago. We've pitted lap 11, but our teammate Hadjar has followed us in. That's going to ruin his race as the mediums go off. A fresh set of mediums will go on. We'll try and nurture these a bit more, but we have massively held up our teammate there. We had to wait for us. It's not the best strategy called, but we had to get off of those mediums, and ultimately it has cost our teammate there, but a sacrifice we needed to make to have any sort of chance in this race. And we've come out with a little bit of a gap to the Sauber of Bortoletto. Now this is Behrman, this is everyone coming out of the pits. They've gone 3 laps longer than we did, and we're ahead. We're gone. You can see us there. We've been beaten out by Behrman though, who was right all over the back now of the Sauber of Bortoleto. The two rookies going wheel to wheel. It's technically a free rookie train here. Behrman is through on Bortoleto, and now we're getting closer and closer to the back of the Sauber. Into turn 1, late on the brakes, to the inside, and take that place from Bortoleto. Up now into P16. Can we get Behrman here? We're getting closer and closer to him as we head towards the final chicane. We've got good pace now. We've found it again, but we're nurturing these tyres this time, not pushing as hard as we were in the opening stints, and we take that place from Behrman there, and hopefully now can get down the road after Gasly in this race. But we just couldn't pull away from Behrman. But we were slowly catching in on those in front, but we weren't pulling away from Behrman, which was a bit annoying because his rear had taken us here and got that place going into the final chicane, and we've had a bit of a wobble coming out of that final corner, and he just dropped us. He's left us for dust here. And lap 9 coming through the chicane, we've got a little bit closer. We're just about staying in the DRS of Behrman, but we just can't get close enough to have a go. And by lap 21 the mediums were starting to go off again as we've been caught by Antonelli. We try and hold it around the outside of Antonelli, and we do hold it around the outside of Antonelli. We keep him behind for now, but heading towards the final chicane, he's going to have another go on us here as he has got us here into the final chicane. But we're going to try and get him back towards turn 1 potentially, but we couldn't. This is Lando Norris though from the lead of the Grand Prix. His engine has gone bang. It's an awful day for McLaren and Lando Norris. So Behrman and Antonelli disappeared, and now we're left defending Albon here, but we are going to box at the end of lap 23, coming into the pits with 12 laps we did on those tyres. And now to get us to the end of this race, we're going to go on to the hards. This time we don't mess about Hadjar, but you can see he's literally last. We have massively hurt his race, but the mediums go off, the hard tyres will go on, and hopefully we have a bit more life and a bit more pace on these hard tyres compared to those mediums. I'm out of the pits now in a lovely little gap in front and behind us, and let's get the hammer down now, as this is Antonelli, who we were fighting. We're going through turn 1 side by side. Antonelli has beat us out. We came into the pits wheel to wheel with Albon, and he's just beat us out there. We haven't gained anything there. Antonelli's just up the road. We couldn't stick with Albon. We were struggling in these opening couple of laps on these hard tyres, and we're coming under pressure by Jack Doohan in the Alpine. To the inside he goes. We're going to hold it around the outside and force him to back out of that one. As now this is Gasly, the further one up the road, Alpine up the road, going wheel to wheel with Antonelli and getting overtaken by Antonelli. And this battle was allowing us to close in again, as we were getting closer and closer now to the back of the Williams of Albon. As we head down towards the final chicane, we're going to be late on the brakes. There's a lock-up by Gasly. We get the place from Albon. Now can we have a look at Behrman, who's all over the back there of Gasly, to the inside, into turn 1, round the outside at turn 2. Guys, Behrman, can he get the job done? He's just got his nose ahead. Yes, he can, and we're going to fight Behrman through and go round the outside of Gasly as well. Gasly's been massively double teamed there. And can we this time overtake Behrman and get down the road? And we do get Behrman into turn 1, and the hard tyres have just clicked now in a way, and we've got great pace. And now we're hunting down Antonelli, who is hunting down Hulkenberg, and with just a couple of laps to go, this could be a very juicy battle for what is just the last couple of places outside the points. As this is our teammate Hadjar spinning round all on his own. He's hit the wall. He's done what we did in qualifying. He's hit the wall, he's kept it going, but that's a big spin all on his own. This is a replay of what happened going into the final chicane. He's just lit it up, he's tapped the wall of champions, and he spun it round. He's just about managed to keep it pointing in the right direction, but he's had an awful race here, and into the final chicane. Is he going to bottle it again? No, he's not, because the engine's gone. The engine's gone in the back of his RB. That might leave us a bit concerned as he goes a lap down to the leading Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari. But that Honda engine has gone bang, and that raises concerns. Is our engine going to go bang? There's just 2 laps to go in this race. Will our engine survive? It hasn't survived in Hadjar's, as now getting closer and closer to the back of Hulkenberg is Antonelli. They're going to wheel. We're not that far away as we go on to the final lap of this race. Antonelli gets Hulkenberg. Lewis Hamilton, though, rounds the final chicane. It's been a while since we said this. He comes up to the line to win the Canadian Grand Prix, his first win for Ferrari. It's a perfect day for Ferrari. It's a 1-2 for them. Charles Leclerc finishes P2, and Max Verstappen, a good recovery drive from a bit of a shocking start. His run of wins and unbeaten will come to an end, but he keeps up the podium streak. He finishes P3, and now heading up to the final corner. We are right on the back of Hulkenberg here. We're getting closer and closer. We've run out of the RS. It's going to have to be a lunge on the brakes, and we get the job done on Hulkenberg, and we come up to the line for what is only going to be a P13.
It's another brilliant performance behind the wheel. Lewis Hamilton takes the checkered flag.
What a true show of character to fight through the grid the way they did, to not get beat down by starting so far down, and to come back and win it all. Just goes to show how strong this driver is.
The top 3 have scrapped on the racetrack. They will now line up next to each other, the best of this race. And listen to this. For Lewis Hamilton, back on the top step.
So that's been your Canadian Grand Prix, the first non-Max Verstappen win of the season. Lewis Hamilton gets his first win for Ferrari, heading his teammate Charles Leclerc, who finishes P2. It's a perfect day for Ferrari. Max keeps up a streak of podiums though with a P3. Sonny Hayes, Apex have brought a big upgrade to this weekend, and that is giving them their first points finish of the season. Great P4 for the American driver, just in front of Yuki Tsunoda, who rounds out the top 5. Bit of a disappointing day for us in P13. That opening stint cost us the race really, because we never really recovered after that. And then Lando Norris retired from the lead. Our teammate Hadjar also retired, but he is classified, so it's Bortoletto who is the final finisher on the track. Max Verstappen, for the first time this season, had his lead eaten into. The gap now 60 points between him and Charles Leclerc. Just 10 points behind Leclerc is Yuki Tsunoda. Lando Norris is P4 and P5 is Lewis Hamilton, and we are P8. Down at the back there's still multiple drivers still yet to score, and Behrman is still the driver who is bottom of the table. So in terms of the constructors then, Red Bull continue to lead, the gap now 65 points. McLaren are P3, Mercedes P4, we are still P5. APXGP jump up from P9 in the drivers to P8, and then it's just Sauber and Alpine who are still yet to score this season. So that's been your Canadian Grand Prix then, hope you have enjoyed it. We go next to my home Grand Prix at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.